Hello and welcome everybody into another edition of the PHNX Suns Show. I'm your host, Craig Esposito, and we are brought to you, as always, by our friends at DraftKings, America's #1 sportsbook. Bet $1 on any football game this weekend, and you're going to get $150 free when you sign up using that code PHNX. Ahoy, hoy, and glad to be joined, as always, by Gerald Bourget. Gerald, I am starting with you.
That was a good
I get
move.
first.
Just for your
I
sake.
can never follow up Saul's introductions.
And the Emmy Award-winning Lindsey Smith.
Hello.
Lindsey, all right. Well, actually, we're calling her
Two
two-time Smith.
Two-time Smith.
Two-time Smith.
2 times Smith.
And it's Saul Bookman. Saul, what do you got for us to make Gerald uncomfortable today?
I've got nothing.
Aw.
Mine are always preemptive strikes, not secondary.
Well, it is good to have everybody here. It is a Friday, and we're going to have some fun on this Friday. Anything on anybody's mind? Anything you want?
That's a loaded question.
I know it is.
You don't want to know what's on our minds.
Well,
I'll promise you.
Fair enough. You guys got to go to Saul and Lindsey got to go to the Mercury game last night.
Yeah.
Heck of a game to watch. What was kind of your takeaway? Obviously, Sophie Cunningham, a huge game, but what was your overall takeaway?
I mean, it was so much fun. I feel like it was a stressful game, though. I'm not going to lie. There were moments where I'm just like, come on, like, we cannot lose this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for that. But it was a blast, and everyone got really into it. The X Factor showed up big time, and so did Sophie.
Yeah, it started off a little slow. I mean, the Mercury started off fast, and then they kind of fizzled, and it really reminded me of Game 5 of the Western Conference or of the NBA Finals when the Suns just came out like gangbusters, and then all of a sudden it just completely flipped, and that's what it looked like it was going to happen against the Liberty, and then it just kind of got quiet. Like the whole like second, third quarter was just kind of quiet, and then Sophie happened, and that place just went crazy, and it was pretty cool, and it was really cool to see, you know, once she started to catch on fire, how they tried to run certain plays to get her open even more and more, and she had a couple other opportunities for buckets had she gotten one more pass here and there. So good win for the Merc.
That second and third quarter, I think a lot of people in the building were a little stressed
Mhm.
because, like you said, we started out hot, and then it was like, I don't know how to feel right now.
It was exactly NBA Finals PTSD. Watching that game, I was like,
Exactly.
I can't watch another Phoenix team do this, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they ran Sophie off that triple screen they used to run for Reggie Miller, where you start on one corner and cut through the back side of the court. I mean, and then she was hitting shots like that.
Oh, for sure. And when you see somebody on fire like that, you want them to get the ball. And I'm not. This is by no way a Skylar Diggins dig. But there was a couple times where she had the chance to hit Sophie, but she was like, "I'm wide open," so she hit she took the shot, and she hit them every single time. So I was like, "All right, well, that's fine." You know? But you always want to see because it's like a buildup, you know, if you've ever seen somebody, or maybe in your own life, if you've ever played basketball and you just felt like you were in the zone, like you want that ball because each shot gets progressively bigger and bigger and bigger. By the time you hit 7 or 8 in a row, it's just like you're king shit. It's just awesome.
The zone for me was taking charges. I was very good at that, and then you get in a zone where you get them all called for you. I was never hitting shots like that. Not that that's a surprise to anybody. I thought this was one of the weirdest color matchups I've ever seen in sports. It was like the teal from the Statue of Liberty versus a ombre purple orange thing. It was a unique look. I enjoyed it, but you know. And it's dead. I thought it was Fashion Friday.
Completely dead.
This is from our Jersey guy.
I was like,
we gotta
Yeah.
bear this in mind.
I didn't
This
really
is
think
true.
about that at all.
I didn't really think the biggest thing for me, if we're just talking about like aesthetics or whatever, like they couldn't have at least brought in the Mercury
Thank
court.
you.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Or the league couldn't say, "Hey, we're playing this game on Wednesday," because the arena was available Wednesday. Like the league couldn't go, "Hey, you're the home court team, so we're gonna finagle the schedule so you can have home court." Like,
yeah.
those are the little things that drive me nuts. And it's happened to the Mercury a lot in the playoffs. They've had to play at ASU a handful of times. You know, I don't know. That was frustrating to me too. It was like, oh wow, GCU made the WNBA playoffs. Congratulations. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a weird look.
According to Twitter, there was a really big glare on the
There
broadcast
was,
as well.
yeah,
Which,
totally.
I mean, I don't know if that's the LED ribbons or what it was, but that was a huge issue on Twitter as well.
Yeah, it was a weird look. I was watching it with my little one, and yeah, you could see the glare. But I guess that's what happens when it feels like you're right on top of the court. Is that ribbon's a lot closer than it is in most arenas. It also threw me off that at GCU the camera setup is looking from behind the bench, not towards the bench.
Right.
So that on TV, that threw me off all last night.
Right. I want to see DT's reactions on the sidelines because she was yelling shit on
Oh,
some of
yeah.
those calls.
She come off the bench several times. She took one knee and tried to direct players, and she was scrounging. She was hyped, obviously. So we'll see if she's going to play on Sunday. She's a game time decision, just like she was for last night. So hopefully she'll be able to play because they definitely needed another spark out there. Especially, they're lucky they were playing the Liberty, who I think are an up and coming team for sure. They got a lot of nice pieces there, but they're still not ready against a veteran team like the Merc, and they need a DT out there for sure.
Seattle is Sunday, right? So
Seattle is
the
Sunday.
rivalry with the Storm continues. They head up to Seattle. It's a 4-5 matchup, I believe, and that will be a true test. I think that's one that you need DT to get a win there in Seattle.
I mean, they've already beat Seattle without DT. So they beat them once at home by I think double digits too. So they can do it. They can do it without DT, but obviously if you have the GOAT, it makes things a little easier.
Well, and on the road in Seattle, that is a heck of a credit. You give the X Factor credit. Seattle's a pretty dedicated WNBA fan base as well. So we will keep you updated on the Mercury playoff run as it continues. And maybe if it continues beyond Sunday, we'll have another player or coach on to talk about what that journey is like for them. But we're going to spend last Friday we talked fashion. This Friday we're talking gambling. We're going to talk the best Suns bets. Are we bringing in the man behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, to talk about this? Are we really giving the mustache some time on the program?
Yep.
All right. I
think
guess
it's
we'll
time.
do it. This is Gerald and Shane. We need you to take us to school here on a Friday and teach us a little bit more about gambling and what we should be looking at with this upcoming Sun season that may make sense from a betting standpoint.
Sure. I think let's let Shane go first so we can go through some of the basics and the DraftKings stuff, and then we'll get to my Suns bet. So Shane, why don't you walk us through for the beginner levels?
Yeah, let me open my app real quick so I can follow along.
All right, so the main thing you're going to see are spreads and money lines, and the only difference between those two is if you're taking the money line, you're taking the team to just win. If you're taking the spread, there's an underdog and a favorite. The favorite is minus points. The underdog is plus points. So if the Suns were favored in a game by 5, they would be -5. So to win a spread bet at -5, the Suns would need to win by more than 5, and then the vice versa goes for the underdog. They would have to lose by less than 5 or win the game. So that's basically what you're going to see in terms of betting on games.
Are you camera shy right now?
You said the mustache thing and you got me all nervous. So
I think you should definitely bring on your camera because right now all people hear is sound
Hey,
coming
guys.
from somewhere.
There he is.
I do
Man
think-
behind the
There we
mic.
go.
I do think I look pretty good today. So
Yeah.
I love that it looks like you're calling in from prison with that.
Yes.
Because we have nothing behind that.
Live from Attica.
Okay, so basically, Shane, if a bet is plus, that means that it's probably going to be a better chance for a sneaky good bet
yeah.
if you like those odds, especially with something like teams futures or players futures where there's multiple options that you can bet on. So you're going to want to be looking for pluses instead of minuses.
So what I was looking at today is actually Monty Williams to win the Coach of the Year. Right now he's plus 1,100 on DraftKings, I believe. So if you put $100 in, you'd win $1,100. That's how you think of it with plus money. If somebody's ever plus money, just if you bet $100, you're going to get how much that plus is. So Monty Williams to win Coach of the Year is plus 1,100, which is good value. The money line teams that are underdogs, instead of taking their spread at plus like 5, you can take their money line at like plus 240. Bet $200 or bet $100, win 240.
Okay, I have a question regarding, and this is definitely Gambler 101. if I have those odds, I have plus 240, and I bet that $100, and I win that 240. I also get the $100 I bet back, right? So really,
Yes.
340 shows up back in my account if I win that bet, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a net gain of plus 240.
Gotcha.
Basically is what that means.
I know for some people that are just delving into this,
Oh yeah.
these are the kind of things that you're not 100% sure on. And
Oh yeah.
so,
Hi, that's me.
And that's kind of why I like the DraftKings app is when you put in whatever you're betting, whether it's $10, $25, it'll show you what your total payout is going to be on top of that bet. So it's a nice way to look at it.
So when it shows you the total payout, that includes the bet or the money you put in already or you placed on that bet?
Yeah. So if you put in like $10 on DeAndre Ayton to win Defensive Player of the Year and it's plus 4,000, I think it is.
Yeah.
It'll show you that you're going to win 410. So that's your $10 plus the 400 that you're going to win for this bet.
Gotcha.
So sorry, I had to ask the
No, it's a
simple
good
kind
question.
of things here as well. So
it's a good question. So, I mean, we can talk about some of these good Suns bets because the Monty Williams one, Shane, was one that I wrote about in my article today as well. Because I think we all agree that he got jobbed last year for Coach of the Year. Like,
Job is one way to put it.
like that's a euphemism.
That's the kind way.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's the tied for the 4th best odds this year. And I feel like we've talked about this ad nauseum. Like the West is wide open for the Suns. If they have the best or second best record in the NBA again this year, and nobody really kind of like impresses in that race, I feel like voters are going to be like, yeah, we kind of fucked up last year when Monty should have won, and then they went to the finals.
The make good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Possibly.
some of these are kind of like overdue with awards. It's like, that guy was in the running last year. We should probably give it to him this year if he's still a relevant candidate. But
I think it probably depends on if there's a surprise in that West though too. If a Chauncey Billups finds a way to get Portland, up and running, and they wind up in a top 4, there could be a surprise like that. But I like what you're saying, and it's probably a smart bet with those odds to look at. Throwing a few shekels down on that.
yeah,
I made that bet using one of my free
gosh,
bets that I got.
Shekels. Oh my!
What do you want me to? What would you like me to do?
Papa Esposito over here.
Hey,
Shekels.
I'm upset that Chris Pratt got named
Some
Mario.
De Niro.
Hey,
Oh.
it's me, I'm Mario. I'm gonna throw a few shekels down on the game. I can do that. I'm Italian.
You have any
so.
doubloons, put them down.
Me and
The blooms.
me and Johnny call these tasty nuggets on our bet show, 12 p.m. on Monday through Friday, by the way.
plug.
One thing, yeah, thanks. One thing I do like to look into, just sprinkle like $10 on, is Cam Johnson is plus 6,000 for most improved player, and I thought that was interesting because both the Porter Juniors are the top 2, and
Yeah, no, that was another one that I had written down because there are a couple of Suns that have odds for most improved player. So
How can Michael Porter Jr. have odds to be most improved player when every Denver Nuggets fan just absolutely thinks he's the greatest thing of all time? They probably would love to give him MVP right now before the season even started.
It's because his back will be semi-healthy this year instead
Oh
of
my
not.
gosh.
Healthy,
But
so.
Saul, this is the year he's going to start playing defense.
It's
gonna happen.
This is it. Yeah.
This is the
By the way,
one.
No,
on
most
an-
improved, not defensive player.
on an NBA show like this, a Sun show, you can't call it tasty nuggets, Shane. I'm sorry.
No,
You
yeah.
can't- we've
Yeah.
refrained from that. All right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So are we saying I should make that bet? Because I already made that bet.
I love Lindsay.
Lindsay's like-
Lindsay's like, I'm betting a morttage over here on the
Listen,
app. Like,
I
what
have-
the hell?
Listen.
I have 5 free bets right now,
Mhm.
and I would like to use all of them
So
today.
use them all. Use
So,
them.
Alright, yes.
so should I put
I
that
would
one
bet.
up?
I
Yeah.
bet the Monty. Yes.
Yes.
No, I did the Monty
Oh.
already. I'm talking about
Okay.
Cam.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I do
Okay.
Cam as
Cam,
well.
That's
good odds because if he wins, that $25 payout's going to be like,
$1,500.
So-
so
There you go.
word of caution on Cam because those are great odds. I won't deny that. I would
Jones got
go.
this shit all over the place
I would
now.
go Mikal Bridges on that bet over
Okay.
Cam. Mikal Bridges
What's
is at
Mikal?
plus
What is that?
4,000.
That's not
so
fun
no,
though.
Hey,
it's,
if you-
it's not fun.
If you have 2 free bets, why not both?
Yeah, if you have 2, you could do that. But I'm just saying, for most improved player, if you look over the last decade, the guys that win that award typically make a big jump in the scoring column. I don't know if Cam Johnson in a bench role is going to do that. I feel like Mikal Bridges has a better chance of doing that.
I don't
Okay,
think
well,
Cam's
Mikal
gonna be in a bench
Bridges-
role very long.
A $25
It's
bet
possible,
on
but-
Mikal Bridges is still a payout of $1,000.
Yeah.
So that's not a
That's
bad
a pretty good
payout
use
at
of your
all.
free bet.
Not bad.
All right,
But
I'm
you
gonna
know,
do it.
$25 to make 1,000.
I did it.
I put
It's
25
official.
on DeAndre to
I did
be
too.
defensive player
That's
of the
a
year.
great bet, honestly. That's another one that I wrote about, and I think he was tied for the 14th best odds which feels kind of low based on what he showed us in the
Mhm.
playoffs. If he brings that every night and maybe an uptick in blocks, I really do feel like that's a pretty great bet. Like a $10 bet's going to win you $410.
Well,
just right
$25
there.
bet wins you 1,000.
Yes.
That's why I
Lindsey's
did it.
just going to be rolling in the
I just
thousands.
did 2 of them.
Lindsay's gonna have to remember she made these.
I
bets because it's 10
know.
months
No,
from
it'll say on your app.
Dude, you know how excited I would be if come the end of the season, all of a sudden I've got like $6,000 chilling right here. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Gerald,
Lindsay's
thank
gonna
you for that.
retire.
Thank you for that late September bet show. In April. I'm very rich now.
Yeah, I do think another one that's kind of underrated is Devin Booker for MVP. He's tied for the 11th best odds at plus 2,500. And, you know, it's a long shot bet, obviously, because you look at the guys in front of him. It's like Luka, Embiid, KD, Giannis. But I really do feel like this might be the year where Chris Paul takes a slight step back from the offense. Devin Booker gets more comfortable with his role on this team. He was 14th leading scorer last year, but I really do feel like he could increase his stats this year. And maybe if the Suns are at the top of the West again, you're talking about a potential dark horse MVP.
What's that plus 13,000 there for campaign?
That is
there?
campaign for most improved player.
Fuck yeah, I'm doing it.
Are we?
Hells yeah.
Plus,
Should we do
how
that
much?
too?
13,000?
13,000.
Yeah,
Dude.
I'm getting out
Yo.
the app now too.
Yo.
Let's do this.
Yo, if you hit that,
I love that.
That-
I
Yo,
love
that's a
that.
yeah, I
lot
like
of money.
stupid ass bets like that, man. Because why not? Like if it, just imagine if you hit,
Mm-hmm.
yo,
That's a lot of
you'll
money.
be seeing that bet receipt on the freaking on Twitter.
Oh,
I'll tell
yeah.
you that much right now.
Definitely.
Let's see how much it would be. A $25 bet on that is a $3,250 payout.
That ain't bad.
Mhm.
That's
Hey,
not bad at
Yeah,
all.
I'll take it. I think I'll do that as well. So if I'm looking in the app again, let's play rudimentary gambler here.
Okay.
So I'd go to the NBA section and look at the futures bets. Correct?
Yes. Yeah. So
All
you
right.
can look at team futures or player futures. We've mostly been doing player, but there are a couple of team ones we can talk about a little bit too.
Well, that is. Well, why don't we get into that? What
Yeah,
what is a
3 more
team
bets,
future?
Gerald.
Lindsay's like, make me some money.
It's funny. Somebody just commented saying, Lindsay be like, show me the money. Jerry Maguire voice.
She's gonna hold me personally responsible when her free bets don't hit. She's gonna
I
come for
want
me.
you to give me my $25
yeah,
that was never
you're
mine.
gonna owe me $6,000 at the end of this season.
She's gonna
Gerald,
show
if
up in the
this
wolf
doesn't
coat
go
at your
up.
house at night.
Yeah.
So okay. So here's a question. So on my app,
Mhm.
it keeps telling me cash out $10. What does that mean?
So-
because this game hasn't even happened yet.
So cash out is usually used for during the game. If you let's say you make a bet on an underdog and they're winning the game in the third quarter, you can cash out more money than you bet, and because they're trying to buy you out of the ticket, basically saying like, I'll take what I can win right now because I'm not confident that they're going to finish the game. So you, at any time during a game, not any time, but most of the time during the game, you can take out what the bet is basically worth at that point in the game.
And it pops up on your app as a bet slip,
Mhm.
so that way you could just click on it and then boom, there it is. You can even put more money on it.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
Yep. Live gambling, dangerous.
Oh my god! This,
That one I
this-
don't need to get
This is
into.
gonna be a problem right here.
But
because if U of A on Saturday
Oh, boy.
keeps it close, all I need them to do is keep it close in the first half, and I will get some major money. I might be like, oh my god, they're only down by 7 with like 5 minutes left to go. Chances of them staying under 18 is pretty good. Let's throw another 25, $50 on it.
that's why I really like this app because it's so fast, and that's what you need for these live lines, like to cash out. Because some apps are super slow, but the DraftKings app, it updates so quick. I'm serious.
does.
I'm serious. It does.
So I have a question. Last night I was looking at, it may have even been the Mercury game, and it said that it was suspended, that you couldn't put money down. Does that happen when there's an injury that wasn't expected or something that shifts things? What causes?
Either that or
causes
there's
that?
a technical issue.
It usually happens when either the score has shifted really fast. This was live, I'd assume.
Yes.
Yeah, it usually happens when the score is shifted really fast. There's an undisclosed injury, or or sometimes it's technical, or the odds makers just don't know what the odds are at that point.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. I
Cool.
thought I just didn't know how to use my app, so it's good to know.
Well, speaking of using the app,
Oh, you want me to do the read?
no, all you have to do is just say
use
gambling
that
problem.
DraftKings app.
Gambling
Use
problem,
it.
21 and over.
Look,
because this whole thing was a DraftKings.
look,
ad.
Okay.
I thought Gerald might have a few more.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we
sweet
definitely
bets
have
for
more.
him.
But
have
for
a few
real
more
though,
if
if
we
you guys
wanted
haven't
to.
signed up for DraftKings and used the code PHNX, you absolutely need to, because all these bets that I'm placing right now are free bets. Like I didn't have to like put in really any money. I put in $50 the other day because it was that no-brainer bet, and I won $50. So that's just chilling in my account. But I've only won $50 so far, and I have all these free bets that might hopefully make me like $6,000 at the end of the season.
Fast, easy, reliable, secure. Those aren't just random words I'm saying. Those are actual things about
that
the
was
DraftKings.
his dating pitch to his wife.
Oh no.
That's for you, sweetheart, if you're watching at home.
Oh.
Got him.
But look,
Fast, easy, reliable, secure. Come on,
no,
baby.
Me
Listen,
and the
that is
DraftKings
not a
app.
bad thing.
No.
Okay.
Fast, I don't know.
Depends
But-
on the way that you're taking it. If you got a dirty mind, maybe yes. But fast
That's
has been
how
like,
everybody
if I
takes
ask
it,
you to take
Lindsay.
out the trash and you do it right away,
I'm
That's a
very
great
slow.
reason to
I don't
be
think that's
fast.
what the
Very
people at
slow.
home were
I
thinking.
don't think
by
that's
fast.
what anybody was thinking.
I'm just
About
trying to
fast.
help you out, Espo.
Thank
I'm
you.
on your
Thank
side
you.
today.
He ran a great 40. That's what we were all thinking.
Yes, I was a sprinter back in high school. Anyways, DraftKings, the app. Use the code PHNX, and you can get $150 in free bets instantly when you bet $1 on any football game this weekend. That's how Lindsey is getting so many of these Suns futures bets in right now, is thanks to that sweet $150 that you get free for using the code. And look, the same game parlays. This is something that they're doing this weekend on NFL games, where you can get refunded up to $25 if you lose a same game parlay. But Shane, can you let the listeners know? They've heard me talk about same game parlays, but what does that actually mean?
I'm addicted to them. They're so fun. So basically, in the NFL terms, when you're betting on a single NFL game, so everybody, if you don't know what a parlay is multiple picks combined to boost the odds, like the money line, blah blah blah. So in the same game, you can bet on a team to win, over under points, and like a player to rush for a certain amount of yards. And there's many different props you can do with players, and you combine all of those in the same game for one parlay. And the odds are boosted like crazy, and the insurance, you can do it risk free the first time. It's so fun. Be careful, you'll get addicted. Trust me.
I did an eight item parlay for the Cardinals game with that $25.
Wait, how many items can you go up to? Like, what's the minimum and what's the max?
I don't know. I didn't.
Well,
I know you can go up to 8 at least.
Well, I know some
Yeah.
places you can go 16.
Oh, wow.
I would assume that DraftKings has the ability to probably go that high.
You
That's
can
kind of insanity to go that high, but
Yeah.
hey, some people are like, you know what? I want a huge payout.
I'm trying to
It's kind
retire.
of like winning the lottery, I
Right?
guess.
I mean,
so.
if it's a free $25 to put on it, you might as well roll the
for
dice
$25, you
And-
might win 75 grand back.
and then have your hair fall out as you're waiting for that 16th thing to happen.
God, could you
accordingly.
imagine the stress and anxiety in that moment?
Yeah, but
And
could you imagine the
excitement.
pleasure and the excitement afterwards?
I mean, true.
Hey,
I was gonna
21
make
and
another
over,
joke, but-
Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit.
Glass half full,
One-
glass half empty.
$1 wager required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have any bets that are not at the end of the season? Like futures bets, but like in the next few months?
So most of the futures bets are going to be like end of season stuff.
Right.
But once the season starts, you'll be able to bet on games. You'll be able to do single game parlays with different Sun stuff for each game. But yeah, most of these futures bets are going to be like end of season.
So
And there's also specials too,
Right.
within the app as well. They're always providing specials. So there might be something that pops up in the middle of the season that says, hey, for this month, if Devin Booker averages at least 30 points a game, you could win up to X amount of dollars. Like,
Saul's just doing the work for DraftKings right now.
He's giving
so
them
Just
ideas.
throwing out
Are we
there.
gonna
I
do
wasn't
a
even a gambler until this whole thing happened, and now I got a problem.
now
I'm
you
in trouble.
are. Are we gonna do a
1-800-NEXT-STEP. All right. What?
Are we gonna do a side bet with our friends in Denver for the
Oh,
first game
for-
of the season?
Oh,
We have to.
A side bet, huh?
I mean, we should,
We
right?
should, yeah.
I'm a little scared.
It's a little,
I'm
yeah,
a
that's a
little
little
scared.
dicey.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not scared because I know we're going to beat the brakes off of them in game number 1. But should we lose, that would be something kind of like,
Okay, so for that game, should I take, what is this? It says spread, total, or money line. Which one is the best one to do? Or
I think you should wait a little bit closer.
Make sure nobody's hurt
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
the season starts.
Oh,
but she's got to spend that money right now. That's why
Oh,
she's asking.
yeah.
Well, if you're looking
So-
for other futures bets, you'll have to wait, obviously, for the payout for these. But I do like that you can bet on different finals matchups.
Okay.
So, like, if we're convinced that the Suns are going to make the finals, that they're going to win the West, you look at some of the individual matchups. If you bet on Suns Nets, that's plus 1,400. If you bet on a finals rematch from last year, that's plus 5,000, just right there. So, like, I mean, I think we would agree the Nets are probably the favorite in the East, but, like, I wouldn't sleep on that Suns Bucks rematch. And if you put down $100 on Suns Bucks, and that
God.
actually
having
winds
to
up being
root
the
for
finals,
Milwaukee the entire playoffs, that might be too much for me to handle.
that's true. Or you could go with something completely off the wall, like Suns Hawks, which is plus 12,000.
What's Wizards Kings? What can I get on a Wizards Kings?
Does
I
not
think we need to
compute.
take your app away from you.
Okay, so this one has
What was that comment, Shane?
team seeded first, seed, second seed.
Lindsey's going to need to call the gambling hotline by the end of the season.
There's a good possibility. If I can truly grasp all of this by mid-season, I'll probably be super.
For those of you who don't know, Lindsey is definitely an entrepreneur. So if
This
she
is
can make
facts.
some money, she's going to try and make that money.
I'm also very like stingy,
Frugal.
frugal.
Mhm.
I like to say smart, maybe with my money. So I'm not trying to make a
Alright.
bad bet.
Sure enough.
Right.
Who-
As-
hold on, I want to know who's trying to make a bad
Yeah.
bet. Like,
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad bet, but like even the campaign, like that's what is it? What did we say?
Yeah, it's not the smartest bet.
No, it's
$13,000,
highly
right? Like,
unlikely, but the
Right.
payout is.
if it was a free bet, I would absolutely do it. If it was
Mhm.
my $25, I'd be like, well,
Yeah, no.
maybe
I
not.
got
Go ahead, Shane.
Espo, your Kings Wizards matchup is plus 100,000.
oh,
Dang.
look,
Holy shit.
excuse me, while I go bet some Kings Wizards NBA Finals.
Oh my-
$25 for 25 grand, baby.
That's
250 grand.
Oh my god.
riding the Bradley Beal
It was
train.
25 grand.
Man,
Yeah.
Math, not any of our strong
No,
suits
it was
except
my
for Saul's.
strong suit because I was like, wait, it takes $100 to win $100,000.
I was,
Dividing by 4,
I was-
that's
I
25.
was giving you credit.
I'm not used to
Got
that.
anything else for us, Gerald?
I mean, if you're uncomfortable betting on specific finals matchups, because it is hard to get both teams right, and you could just do Suns to win it all at plus 1,700. That's not. I mean, it's a bet of faith for sure, but I feel like we all have faith that they will win the West. So
What are the odds that it'll be a East versus West team? Can I get those odds? Jared's sitting there.
I'm like
think-
over
I
here
just
looking at
thought
my
about it.
computer, like,
Can
Yeah.
I find
no.
one? Oh,
Let me
wait.
see. Hold
That's
on.
what I'm saying. Like, you just can't trust anything he says.
What do you get?
Fast, easy, reliable, secure.
What do you guys think the over under would be set on for each episode of Espo saying "sweet, sweet"?
that's got to be minus 500 probably.
No, the over under, like how many times he
Oh.
says it
Oh,
Oh.
3.
In an episode or in the entire
In an
season?
in an
Yeah.
episode.
I'm
And
putting
then
it 2.5.
I get
Yeah,
it.
I'm
2.5
hammering the
dollars.
over.
Okay. Don't make fun of me. Can
Mhm.
somebody explain over under to me like I'm 12?
So if we think if the over is at 2.5, or if the line is at 2.5, and I think he's gonna say more than 2.5 times sweet sweet, like 3, then I would take the over.
Okay.
So that means I think he's gonna say it at least 3 times or more.
And they're set at a half, so you don't have a push, right?
Yeah, because he can't say it 2.5 times.
I could, sweet.
He could be like sweet
I was
sweet
gonna
sweet
say
sweet
you could,
sweet.
right? Technically.
We found a way to beat the under over.
Oh, man.
Sticking it to those odds makers. There's always an
Ha-ha!
angle, right?
Gotcha.
I'm interested in like these game props. Those sound kind of fun.
Okay, like which ones are you looking at?
I mean, I'm just
Any
it just
game
seems
prop?
fun. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
mhm.
like race to 10 points in the first quarter,
Mhm.
race to 15 points, all those kind of things.
There's
That's
usually
basically
no
what it is.
rhyme or
It's a
reason
points
to those,
race.
but they are fun because you could randomly hit, or
Yeah.
because you're randomly cheering for a team to score 10 points in the first 5 minutes of a game. So
I feel
can
like
be
it would
fun.
be
It's
easier for
like-
me to cheer for a different team if it was just like 10 points.
It's
Yeah.
like, the way I look at this is like there's all types of gambling that you can do within the sportsbook app, right?
Mhm.
And some people like to play the blackjack. Some people like to play roulette. Some people like to just play penny slots.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is kind of like a penny slot kind of deal where there's so many of them and you could play, but you're never going to really win big. And you're just going to, you're just doing it to have fun.
You'll hit on them
Challenge
occasionally.
accepted.
You're betting
Sam's
on
gonna-
cricket, which is basically the equivalent of less than a penny slot. It's like playing a penny slot over at Circus.
Do not besmirch my favorite Knight Riders, all right? The Calcutta Knight Riders are my team, and you will not besmirch them.
We were
sentence has
literally
never
just
been uttered.
we were just talking about the fact that he, one of his buddies was talking about how he brings kind of like an old school or traditional kind of thing to it. He was like, "Do I sound old?" And I was like, "No, today you definitely sound old."
You got my
feel
head.
I feel like Abe Vigoda is sitting right next to me
God.
at 85 years old.
God damn you, Saul, for getting in my head.
You knave.
You scallywag.
Jesus Christ.
We've killed
Oh my
Shane.
God.
I don't know what the heck
The
that
19 to
sounds like.
34 demographic is dead on this
Oh.
show right
Just
now.
lean into it.
It's fine.
Just lean into it. I suppose it's okay.
I got to bring my sweater vest for you next week.
It'll be really fun because Gerald and I will share like awkward looks at each other, like what is he
His
saying?
pipe. and
Once
his-
the boomers figure out
and his
how to
knickers.
access this YouTube link, our viewership's going to be off the charts.
Sun City is going to be lit.
Also, if you are tuning in from Sun City, we love you.
do love
we
you.
really, really
Very,
do.
very much.
We're
older
just
than-
making
Also,
jokes.
I am so proud of you.
Look, if you're older than 34 and watching this, please stay tuned. It's not just for the youngins, all right?
It's just not.
We'll have our Metamucil ad later, I
Oh,
promise,
God.
okay?
Oh my god.
You're such an ageist.
That's
I'm an ageist.
Oh, man.
It's time
Gerald,
to
you
get...
got anything else for us
No,
before we
I'm
need to
done.
move
Yeah,
on
let's
to
wrap
the
it
next
up.
one?
Let's wrap it up.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'll tell you guys about some really cool things that are going on at gophnx.com.
The best bet you
let's
can
do
make.
that.
The best bet you can make.
Absolutely.
Gerald gave way more information in an article today about these bets. So if you would like to read that, all you have to do is become a member.
Mhm.
And you can become a member today and also get a voucher for a free t-shirt from our
Mhm.
locker.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
And we've got some really cool ones in there. If you are already a member, then you have definitely already read Gerald's article. But you can get 20% off all Cardinals merchandise in our locker.
Mhm.
So some really fun things going over on
Yeah.
gophnx.com. So check it out. And also, wherever you are listening to this podcast from or watching from, if you're joining us from YouTube, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss an episode of the PHNX Suns
Yeah,
podcast.
smash that like button.
5 stars, please,
Yes.
as well.
Now, understand this. There's a difference between rating and reviewing. You got to do both, right? So you can rate us, which is hopefully it's a 5-star for you.
Mhm.
Maybe the Sun City demographic's going to give me a 2-star. I get that.
They
I
can't
hate-
figure out the
That's
the
fair.
ratings, so don't
See?
worry.
Jesus Christ, Espo. I was trying to be nice.
They're
And
trying
then
to
you
set up
can-
their
Then you
iCloud
can leave
still.
a review. Then you can leave a review, which will probably say Saul and Espo can go fuck themselves, which is completely fair today.
Fair.
Or you-
it'll be a grocery list. That's what it
We love you, Sun City.
Okay, but those are really funny when they happen on Facebook, like where they're searching for something. That's so
Yeah.
precious.
Hey, trust me. You know what? Everybody that follows us and has followed the show and emails us, like, we have nothing but love for everybody, for sure. So
seriously, I am mentally in the 70 to 80-year-old demographic, so I'm right there with you. We love you, Sun City, if you're watching. So, but by the way, if you want Gerald's thought process uninterrupted by dumb jokes,
yeah.
read his articles because that's where you can actually get the full Gerald effect. And it's, I always feel bad because we wind up stepping on his great thoughts here on the program to say something dumb. So if you
Yeah.
want those great thoughts in written form, go phnx.com. So,
Yep, absolutely. So, a little birdie told me something really cool today.
Oh.
What's that?
We have a super special announcement to make.
Hey,
hell yeah.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely do.
Mm-hmm.
we
You
do.
got that ready to go, Shane?
Yeah.
Let's
We
do it,
do.
baby.
We do.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Sunny Awards are coming to PHNX.
Mm-hmm.
So that's October 5th. Is that
October
correct?
5th at 7 p.m. right here. It's a Tuesday night. There ain't anything going else there. There's nothing else going on, I should say.
Proper English.
Let me work those words.
We did check that there's not a preseason game, right?
There's no preseason game. We're good to go. October 5th, the Sunny Awards. For those of you who don't know what the Sunny Awards are, let us enlighten you. It is kind of, the genius behind it is Brandon. That's
Zona Hoops.
Zona Hoops, yeah. And he does awards for everybody on Sun's social media. He basically calls out who he thinks is the MVP, who he thinks is the best Twitter account, racks and stacks. He has a first team, second team, all media team, and all this other stuff. So he's very active in the Suns community. He started doing this a couple years ago. It was written only, and then actually he was on your guys' show when you were with the Suns last season to talk about some of the things that he was going to be presenting as well. And a lot of people really, really took to the Sunny Awards, so we're super excited to be able to bring him on and do this. This is a 1-hour event. It is going to be black tie, and here we go.
What? Oh,
Yes.
nobody told me that.
Yeah, it's black tie because I'm not on the show, so fuck him.
I'm more excited now. I'm the only person that got more excited with that.
Can I? Jared's like, finally, my clothes are coming in.
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Guys.
Go to the dry cleaner.
Evening gown? Can I wear one of those?
You can wear whatever you would
All
like,
right,
buddy.
good to know.
If you want to wear an evening
Yes,
gown,
you absolutely
Pan,
can.
nightgowns.
Maybe I'll have some fun with what. Maybe there'll be wardrobe changes.
When you said
with it.
evening gown, I thought like Peter Pan, like nightgown, like Geppetto.
that's pajamas, dude. That is pajamas.
It's a dressing gown.
Oh, that's a dressing gown.
Evening gown. Oh. You mean like my moo-moo? Like, no.
Hey, don't knock a moo-moo. Those are
I
so
knew you had a
comfortable.
moo-moo.
Lindsey,
I
old
just
woman at
knew
heart.
you had a
I'm the-
moo-moo.
and I'm the old one.
When I picked up Lindsay to go to the Mercury game yesterday, I didn't go up to her door because I was like, what if she's still on her moo-moo? I don't want to do that.
Listen, moo-moos have made a comeback, okay?
There was
It's
a time where they were like super.
No, I'm dead serious. There's literally a brand called Show Me Your Moo-Moo, and it's like gorgeous dresses.
Oh
It's
my
just like a
gosh.
different
That's
vibe
hilarious.
now.
Show me your
Anyway,
moo-moo.
back
me
to
your
That sounds like a fake ad we'd make up for this program.
Show me your moo-moo.
Show me your moo-moo.
Show me your safe.
I cannot
affordable,
help
and
if
reliable.
y'all aren't up to date on the fashion, okay?
Oh my
I
god.
cannot help how you feel.
It's been 7 days since the fashion episode. Did you forget that none of us are really up on fashion?
I'm up on fashion all the time. What are you talking about?
Okay, anyway,
Back to
back
the Sunnies.
to the Sunnies Awards.
I'm
I'm
a one-time
really
Sunny
excited.
recipient. I'm very excited.
I'm too.
I'm not a 2-time Emmy winner, but I'm a 1-time Sunny recipient.
I think I got more excited about winning something from the Sunnies than I did over the Emmys.
I made the media list last year, so I'll take that. Even though I technically wasn't media, so that's even more impressive. I snuck in, I guess.
I have not won an Emmy or a Sunny, so
Fingers
You were
crossed
nominated
for
though, right? For one.
you.
no. Oh yeah, for an Emmy.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Eh,
I'll be
it's no
honest
Sunny.
with you, I do genuinely really enjoy the Sunnies Awards because sometimes, especially last year, the first time I was like really introduced to it, there were so many people on that list who I was like, wait, hold on.
Mhm.
How did I not know about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
for
person?
sure.
And then I started following them and I'm like, you mean to tell me I've been missing out on this content like
Yeah.
this whole time?
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people like that.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that he is able to find really cool people who bring different types of content to the table that we all get to enjoy and consume. And plus, like, I think if you're, like, we've talked about this, like, even with the Timeline Pod and just a whole bunch of other people, right? Like, if you're willing to put in the work to create some really cool content
Yes,
around your favorite
absolutely.
team for your team's community to engage with and enjoy, like, kudos to you.
That's
You know,
what
those-
this is about.
No, that's exactly what this is all about. That's the one thing that I think, like, I'm so proud that we are attempting to do this because I feel like there are too many Suns people out there that people don't know about. You know what I mean? And the one vibe that you will always see here at PHNX is that we aren't going to dog anybody else out in terms of like other media members or other podcasts or whatever. We feel like those people are like great assets to the Suns community and we want to pump them up. Hell, we're going to have some of them on our show from time to time. Like, we don't give a fuck. We just want to support the Suns community. That's what we're here for.
That's with a PH.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I've said the F word.
I should have
at
taken
least-
the over.
Yes. It was
Did
definitely
I
a
get
five.
it right?
It was
You,
5.5.
look
Yeah.
at
We need to start having secret lines for our shows that each of us don't know about. that people can like.
Yes.
And what we'll
guess,
do,
you know?
listen,
That's Shane's job
Yes.
right there.
what we'll
Shane
do
will set the under over for things.
each week, well, we might be poor by the end of the season. Maybe it's every other week. Each week we'll bring in like $5 or something, and we'll put it in an envelope. And whoever wins the most of those secret bets at the end of the week gets to take it home.
And since I can't even see the board right now, Shane, you could put the over under measurables in the chat. People could just look, and then they could count themselves. Look at that. See, interactive right here.
This is why we don't need
Engagement.
production meetings. We can figure it out on air.
That's it.
Look
That's
at
it.
that.
We can even have a jar right here for a swear jar because we should be bringing that over anyway because that
Yeah.
costs way too much.
Can I take home that swear jar?
Look,
You can put it all on campaign to win.
There you go. And then I'll split it with you guys.
There you go.
Perfect.
Deal?
Easy.
Perfect.
Yeah, but shout out to Zona Hoops Brandon, who
Mhm.
has been the mastermind behind this, put in a lot of hard work over the years, putting in a lot of hard work for this. We saw what he was doing and saw that, he was asking, hey, if anybody can help with editing and stuff, and we thought, let's help out. We love this, so we might as well offer that help, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to have him in studio doing this, interacting with the people who will win some of these Sunnies, some of the people that'll lose some of these Sunnies. It'll be great, and fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a tremendously fun event from top to bottom for a full hour. So please join us.
October 5th at 7
October
p.m.
5th
7 p.m.
at 7 p.m.
Put it in your calendars now, people.
Yeah, and we'll be pumping that all next week as well. So
I was gonna say we'll pump the crap out of it between now and the 5th.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. You'll know exactly when it is and what time it is because we will keep you all in the know. We've got our DraftKings lock of the week, our bet of the week, our pick of the
Okay.
week, however you want to call it. And Saul, I think you have
I
the
do.
honor.
Oh,
I actually,
hold on. Let me open my app.
I actually
real quick, 'cause I
mentioned
got
it.
a few more.
I
free
actually
bets
mentioned
to
it earlier.
use.
Now I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, "Oh, nah, I'm not a U of A guy." That's fine. This is all about money. I'm trying to win you some money. And our lock of the week is Arizona as a 17.5-point underdog in the first half against Oregon. I like that. I'm taking the under. I'm taking Arizona to not lose by more than 17.5 points
in the first half.
I
in
don't
the
know
first
how
half.
to make this
Now,
bet.
full transparency, I think they're going to get obliterated in the game by at least 40, but not in the first
But
half.
it won't be that fast.
No, it won't be that fast. It'll
The
be a
second
slow.
half will
it'll
be
be
the
slow
story.
and
It'll
more
be a
painful.
slow bleed. It's like kind of like when you cut your leg and then you stick your finger in there, and then all of a sudden you just rip your leg open.
What?
Has that happened to you?
It
those
actually
thighs?
has. It actually has right here.
Oh my god!
Right here. I did this right here. I had a little 1 inch, or like it was like 2 centimeters.
Oh my
I
God.
cut my leg on the edge of a car, and then I stuck my finger in there, and I ripped my leg open, and blood everywhere,
Because
and I
that's-
passed out.
That's the sanitary way to go about.
I was
have a
8 years
car.
old.
Oh, well, you need to mention that part of the story.
Espo, I was 8 years old. I was a
Okay.
young man up in Mayer, Arizona.
Okay.
Oh,
then-
boy.
Then that's fine.
Yes,
I will
so,
give
yeah.
8-year-old.
That's why I said what I said.
Look,
Ouch.
I don't even know if I trust U of A at 17.5 in the first
They
half.
were embarrassed so bad against NAU. I just feel like they're going to come out with their hair on fire for a half until they realize, oh shit, we're not as good as these guys at all.
It's Oregon in Oregon.
What is Oregon ranked? Are they ranked?
3.
Oh my god!
Exactly. That is the exact reaction I was looking
I mean,
for.
Oregon.
Oh
come
my
on
God.
now, you can't
So
tell
you're
me.
telling me I shouldn't make this bet?
Hey, what I'm saying is that Oregon just beat Ohio State.
Mhm.
Okay, they're like, we're not worried about U of A at all. I feel like there's going to be a little complacency, and I think U of A is going to come out and they're going to play hard. They're going to play hard. Now, if
I
they can
could
keep
play
it within
hard.
17 points, I think they'll be less than 17.
Are you expecting them to play their third stringers in the
Yeah.
first half?
Actually, the third string quarterback is probably going to be the starting quarterback.
Okay, then maybe
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
there's a chance.
He's mobile. He can run. He played pretty well in the 2 drives that he had last week. Almost won the game for him. Like, he'll be all right.
Well, if you want to trust Saul, which I'm not 100% sure you should, but you can with his pick of the week.
Well,
Book
listen,
it with Bookman.
if you sign up and use code PHNX, it's a free bet anyway. So
There
you
you
may
go.
as well wing it and
Why
see
not?
if you can win some money.
That's right. I paid $10, and if I win, I win $110. Why
Okay.
not?
Now Lindsey's just stealing the line. I don't have to.
I mean,
Go ahead,
I'm
Lindsey.
just in on this game now. I'm invested a lot here.
See, I'm all in on this DraftKings thing, Espo. Get off the read. It's mine now. Yeah, PHNX. Use that code $1 on any football game. 150 in free bets that you can spend on Saul's pick if you so choose.
Pick of the week.
Pick of the week. We're gonna play a new game to wrap up the week because it's not like we've been on topic a lot today, so why not just wrap it up with another kind of thing that isn't fully on topic. It's a new game called Rank and File, where the premise is simple. I'm going to give you 5 things. You're going to have to rank it 5 through 1. It doesn't always have to be Suns related, but in most cases it will be. And our first one, in honor of Sophie Cunningham, is going to be the top 5 Suns three-point shooters of all time. We pre-ranked these because, as we learned from Blank Space Baby, when you do it in real time, there's awkward pauses that doesn't make for good podcasting. So we pre-ranked these. Let's throw it up on the screen for the top three-point shooters. You could choose from Barbosa, Marley, Dudley, Nash, or Wes Person. And you can see the list up there. Gerald, you went Marley 5, Barbosa 4, Dudley 3, Person 2, Nash 1. What was the thinking in your ranking?
So, I mean, Nash is like the king of Suns three-point shooting. He's like the all-time leader. Like, his three-point percentage is insane, so he was a clear pick at number 1. Wes Person didn't play for the Suns that long. I think it was only like 3 seasons, but he was like a 41% shooter, so the guy was a sniper. I know Marley last is going to be controversial, but like...
Yeah, because you had Dudley 3.
He was like a career 36% shooter from 3.
Yeah,
like
he's not even on the top 10.
His reputation benefited from being like ahead of his time in terms of being a three-point
Of range,
specialist.
because of range.
But he only shot he shot less than 36% for his career.
Sure.
That's like below average in NBA.
But
today.
he also had one of the most epic playoff performances of all time from 3. And that dude was the first one to step back like 10 feet behind the line and not give a fuck and shoot threes.
Well, and he made 800 in his career, which is the second most in Suns history.
He also
So
shot
that's
the second most. So
But that's part of why people so fondly remember him.
Yeah.
In a time where people weren't infatuated with the 3,
yeah,
he shot a lot.
he was ahead of his time. I'll give him that. But I'm saying if we're ranking three-point shooters, I'm putting Marley last out of that group.
That's fair. I mean, you can't. I mean, and
Jared
obviously
Dudley just doesn't feel like a solid 3-point shooter to me. Like,
Dudley's
I'm just
percentage was great. too.
percentage,
Yeah.
sure,
Like,
cool.
and
But I'm just not a fan.
well, he
I love
has
you,
the
Dudley.
8th most made 3-pointers in Suns history.
He's 5th on the career three-point percentage list for the Suns behind Wes Person. Steve Nash is number 2. Do you know who number 1 is? He's only played here for
I
one
know.
season. Cameron Payne, number 1
Wow.
at 45%
That doesn't.
in his son's career.
If he keeps it up, he can be the all-time leader, and I'm not going to complain.
Probably won't.
He
That'd
won't.
be real impressive.
But I'm okay if he does. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah.
Lindsey, why don't you share your list?
I mean, mine was pretty similar to, well, at least the theory and the thought process behind it was obviously Nash and Persons 1 and 2 based on made 3-point shots and percentage. And then the bottom 3 was a mix of the stats and just who I like the best.
Mhm.
I mean, let's be honest. I just kind of was like, I really like, okay, but Barbosa and Marley are like 1A and 1B there
Mhm.
because they're both really, really good dudes. And that's not to say Jared Dudley isn't.
Mhm.
I just really liked my time that I got to spend with Leandro. He was a sweet baby angel.
We
like,
love
you
the
can't be mad at
Brazilian boy.
him.
We finally
Sweet
got a sweet
baby
baby
angel.
angel drop on the
Yeah.
show.
And then didn't he have the little meet
Yes,
Yep.
he did.
thing?
Yeah.
I loved that. I thought
Mhm.
that was cute that like that was his thing.
Yeah.
So I put Barbosa at 3, Marley at 4, and Dudley at 5.
Espo?
I think it's fair. Yeah, I went Barbosa 5, Dudley 4, Marley 3, Wes Person 2, Nash 1. There's no argument that Steve Nash was the best, and it's the thing. And he's even said it. If he had shot more of those during the 7 seconds or less era,
Mhm.
that's a different offense. I mean, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
amazing the way it was, but if he let it fly like some of the current guards that had his shooting prowess, that would have been something else. So tough to argue Nash. I mean, in the end, we all wind up with the same
Top
1
2.
and 2 in
Mhm.
it. So really, it's 3 through 5. You argue. Marley is probably just because I'm a child of the 90s, having him at 3 and fondly remembering those shots and some of the big 3-pointers he hit. The one against the Lakers comes to mind that he hit. So, and Dudley and Barbosa to me are really interchangeable at that 4-5 spot. And, Dudley, as we talked about, had the good percentage. Barbosa was fun to watch. I think Barbosa actually made more than Dudley as a Sun. I just there was something about Dudley corner threes that I always enjoyed. So
he had a good celebration. He was fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously 1 and 2 are the same as everybody else's, and then Marley, Barbosa, Dudley for me 3, 4, 5. The reason why I put Marley in there is just because he did it in big games. He came through in the clutch when they needed him on several occasions, and that's why I put Marley at 3. Barbosa, kind of the same thing. He was a key contributor to that 7 seconds or less team, and he could hit that corner 3 like nobody's business. And then Dudley was just there because I had to pick Dudley.
because he was on the list of
Because he was on the list of 5.
Well,
yeah.
if it makes you feel good, Saul, Rick says you got it right.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Rick, obviously not calling in from or texting in from Sun City. So, look, 2 things I found interesting on the all-time 3-point made list. Devin Booker's already 3 in 6 seasons. Mikal Bridges in 3 seasons is already the 15th most made threes in Suns history.
Yep.
Cam Johnson, 25th in his 2 seasons.
These dudes are going to climb fast.
I think it tells you how different the game is now and how predicated it is on threes. Next on our rank and file, we're going to rank the top nicknames in Suns history. Let's take a look at those. It was Elliot Perry, Chris Paul, Charles Barkley, Sean Marion, and Connie Hawkins nicknames that we had to select from.
What are you laughing at?
Socks at number 2.
That is so high for an article of clothing.
That's
nickname.
just clothes.
Lindsey, do you want to share your list so the listeners know why Saul's mocking you?
Okay, because all right. So
Go ahead, Beanie.
I will. Thank you very much. Chris Paul and Connie Hawkins, first of all, it's not even like it's just a part of their name. So it's like calling me Linz is my nickname. Like that's not a true nickname.
We established
in my
that your
opinion.
nickname is 2 times, so I don't know what.
Right, but you know
She
what I
does
mean?
know who she's sitting next to, right? What is my nickname? Is
It's
just the first
Espo.
4 letters of my last name.
It's basically just an abbreviation of your name.
Yes.
At that point, it's not like a full-blown nickname in my book, right? So they're not. I'm not saying I dislike them, but
the one I take
the
numbers
Matrix
with
is
the hawk.
obviously first because it's a great nickname.
Fantastic nickname.
absolutely.
Right. I mean, that's awesome. My beef with Round Mound of Rebound is I think it's mean, okay?
But he embraced it. If the person embraces it, I'm
It
fine.
still doesn't matter. It's mean. I guarantee you that nickname came from a place of being mean before he embraced it.
But
It's
it
like
wasn't.
making fun of yourself before other people make fun of
No,
you.
but it wasn't because he was fat. Because he wasn't fat.
yes, he was
Barkley?
in Auburn.
He was big
yeah.
boned.
Oh,
It
he
was
was
Auburn
big boned,
but
days
he
when
never-
he got it.
I'm telling you, if you ever saw him in person, you wouldn't think he was a fat guy.
But that's what I'm saying is that even regardless if he was actually overweight or just overweight for an athlete, and I'm air quoting all of this, right? If you're listening, I still just think it's mean. Like he obviously was a great basketball player. Like why do you even need to comment on his physical appearance? If he's able to do the things he's able to do, then let him
What
be
if-
whatever he
what
feels
if it was-
comfortable in
What
his
if it was
body.
just because his head was round?
I think it stemmed because he was so, especially in his Philly days, he was so fast. Like when he got in transition, people were surprised that a guy of his build was
Yeah.
like
He,
that.
he was built like a bowling ball. He's 6'4".
And he made it. He turned that negative, because clearly I think you think it's a negative,
I just think it's mean.
to a positive, and he made it authoritative.
Right.
Like,
And listen,
like the round mound of rebound, and it's like, holy shit. Okay, cool.
and that's cool. I like that part of it. I just think it's mean. And plus socks is fun. Who doesn't love a good pair of socks?
That's just an
Me.
article
It's
of
just an
I
clothing.
hate
article.
socks.
That's why I can't with you.
I hate
I'm not on your
socks.
team anymore.
I hate socks so much.
Matrix is the clear number one, and
Yes.
the reason why Espo put round mound of rebound number one is beyond me, because that's not. It's okay. It's more of like a hey, everybody, step up to the circus and see the round mound of
Hold on a second.
rebound.
You put it second. It's not like you put it fourth or fifth. We're splitting hairs here. Like literally, our 1 and 2 is just flip flopping. You're like, I can't believe Espo. How dare you?
I can't.
Your nickname that you have won and everybody else has won is based on a movie that was popular at one point there. In it, like,
it was because of
kids
the unknown,
nickname.
the versatility of the Matrix.
Do kids have any clue what that means in reference to Sean Marion now?
No, it doesn't.
But the round mound of rebound, if you hear that, you know what you're looking for. You're looking for a guy that's round that can rebound. All right.
I mean, if you just say the Hawk, like unless you're talking specifically to a Suns fan, are they going to know you're talking about Connie Hawkins?
No, they're probably going to think Titans. DC, the hero, but
Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, exactly.
Why socks last as opposed to CP3? CP3 is just so unoriginal.
Because I like it. It just flows. CP3 socks is literally just an article of clothing. Like if I like
CP3 is his initials and a number.
If I wear the same pair of jeans every single day, are you guys just gonna call me jeans?
I don't know if you wore Jordans.
No, but if you wore
would call you
knee-high
Jordans.
socks playing in the NBA, I would call you socks for sure.
But that's just such an old-fashioned it's like, hey socks, like
GB4 is sick. I'm gonna start calling him GB4.
Connor's on my
GB4.
team. Connor said mad
So
love
we got
for socks.
two-time
Thank you, Connor.
Espo, GB4. I don't know what the hell my name is. So
Wait, GB4?
so we're not going with the G spot.
Where's the
then.
4
He's the
from?
fourth.
What did I miss?
He's the fourth.
Oh, we're not going with the G spot, Gerald.
We're not going with the G spot then. All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No. You don't want
Move on.
you don't want me to shout down the street when you're walking away from me. Hey, G Spot, come here.
I can't find you.
I can't find you.
Somebody help me! I've lost the G spot. Did you really want that nickname?
No, I don't want that
Okay,
nickname.
Okay, so
Stop bringing
GB4.
it up.
Gerald's like, please,
GB4.
no, for the love of God,
Oh,
stop.
man. Glutton for
He
punishment
keeps
over
bringing
here.
it up.
Just call me socks.
All right,
whatever,
let's
fuck
go to
it.
the next list.
I'm gonna start
Let's
calling
go to
you
the next
socks.
list before the show ends because this is going to bring on some hate rain.
Oh, yep.
The
Here we
final one
go.
is
Saul's nickname is
Condiments.
Salty Saul,
Salty
according to
Saul.
Sean.
Yes.
best condiments. What we could pick from was pico, hot sauce, ketchup, ranch, and sour cream. I'll go with mine first. All right. Ketchup is 5, right?
What?
Ketchup is a lazy man's marinara sauce.
Oh
if you're
my
gonna
God.
eat ketchup, put some damn spice
Yeah,
in it.
boo that
Oh,
man.
Eat it with some noodles and
Where's
do
your
it.
boo
fu-
button?
right.
Why'd you
Did you
clap
just
that
put
shit,
ketchup?
Shane?
Because I agree.
That's my
Ketchup doesn't
fellow
go on
Italian.
spaghetti.
Hey, Shane's not allowed to interject
No, he's
sound
not.
effects based on his opinion.
No,
because this
yeah,
is
no.
unfair.
Shane, you
No.
interject whatever you want, whenever you want, until it goes against me, and then we'll have a problem. But look, ketchup is just disgusting.
Good
Like,
God.
like it's a base to something
What
else.
is wrong
It goes
with your
with so
life
many
right now?
things.
That's why you're so bitter. It's because you don't have ketchup in your life.
Okay, you know
I thought
what?
it was relish on
You need some relish on your hot dog, but you need ketchup on everything else.
We just shared this.
Ketchup on a burger.
I don't. Can we put the rest of the list back up there? So I'll
First
finish.
of all, if you put ranch at number 1, you are
Get out of here,
you're
Saul.
a homicidal
Go
maniac.
home, Saul.
Ranch,
Ranch
ranch.
is number 2.
Ranch.
Did you
Ranch.
just
Ranch.
did you say homicidal maniac?
Yes.
Ranch can go anywhere. Look, hot sauce was 4 on my list.
How
But-
was Pico number 5?
Serious? No,
yo?
Pico.
that's what I'm
Pico,
saying.
Pico
Oh,
was
for me?
Everybody, yeah,
No,
you too.
Okay.
Pico
Okay.
2 for me.
Regular salsa I will do any day of the week.
Yes.
Pico,
It
Not for
depends
me.
on who makes the Pico, though.
If it's
That's
quality,
fair,
Because
oh,
no,
I'll put pico on my fries before you see me put ketchup anywhere.
Lindsay,
near it.
you said you like Sonoran hot dogs. They put Pico on Sonoran
yes,
hot dogs.
I am very aware, but like for me personally, with most places, not every place, but a lot of times I feel like pico is too liquidy. So when they stick pico in my burrito, then all of a sudden it's just dripping.
You gotta get the good
completely
stuff.
agree.
I would rather have basic chopped tomatoes, cilantro, and onions, not in a pico type style. Like if I'm going to an actual taco shop, I'm not getting pico. I'm
No,
getting
I'm never getting
cilantro
pico
and
either.
white onions.
True,
Okay,
true,
that's
true,
fair.
true, true.
So yes,
That's
pico
fair.
is at the end for me because I would rather just have those condiments.
How is
on
hot
it.
sauce not number 1 for everybody? Hot sauce is
Well,
the greatest
well, again,
condiment of all
it
time.
depends on what
Depends.
kind of hot sauce.
Exactly.
Because I'm thinking just like Frank's like hot sauce or like
Who hurt you?
or like Tapatio. Like that's what I'm thinking when I think
Who
hot
hurt you?
sauce. How often do you put hot sauce on stuff other than like burritos
Every
and tacos? That's it.
day.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who you're talking to, but like hot sauce
Dog.
can literally go on almost anything.
Yes.
Like a hamburger. You're not gonna put
Anything
hot
can
sauce
pretty
on a
much
hamburger.
go on
Oh,
anything.
You could.
Why
you put
would
on
you do that?
popcorn.
You wouldn't put hot sauce.
Yep.
You can
Why-
put it.
Why
You
would
put
you
it
put
on
hot sauce
shit.
on
I get
popcorn?
pork rinds and I
I can
put
see
hot sauce
that.
all over them. Oh my god.
I can see
I mean, that
that.
sounds good. I love hot sauce. don't
Wings,
get me
obviously,
wrong.
with hot sauce.
Wings are
makes-
great.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
mean-
if I was on an island, I can only have like 2 or 3 condiments. Like,
Oh, I gotta.
I'm
have
putting
the hot
ranch
sauce,
and ketchup
baby.
ahead of those for sure.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
I agree with
Ranch?
one of the
ranch
two.
is
Ranch?
definitely number one.
Why? It's
Because
it's
It's
not even
versatile.
versatile. No,
It
it
is.
It is
isn't.
versatile.
No, it isn't.
You could do
Yes, it
pizza.
is.
You could do fries.
Oh,
You can do
pizza.
vegetables.
First
Yeah.
of all,
You could do
you're
chicken
gonna sit
wraps.
here and tell me, as an Italian guy, that you're okay with ranch going on pizza,
Okay,
but not
get
ketchup.
off your high
it-
horse.
if it's
Pizza
a-
and ranch go hand in hand, and
it's
if you
a
don't serve
cheap-
ranch at your Italian restaurant, I'm mad at you.
Why
If
would
it's
you serve
serious.
ranch at an Italian
Because
restaurant?
ranch makes pizza better.
At least the
First
crust.
off,
At least the
ranch-
crust better.
First off,
Yes.
pizza isn't really an Italian food, so let's get off that train
Oh my
real
gosh.
quick
Well,
here.
You
Like,
really think that freaking making your spaghetti off of the freaking packaged fries?
I don't make spaghetti.
You make it from scratch?
I have made spaghetti
Every time?
Not every time, but I
Okay,
Did you
alright.
put
Family
ketchup on
does-
it? Because
no. Family does make the marinara sauce from scratch. Just don't
Definitely-
test me on
definitely,
that.
Definitely with a side of ranch, right?
Can we talk? Can we talk? If I'm having a salad, yes.
Mm.
That- look, which is not very often, as you can tell.
Oh, man.
Can we talk about sour cream for a second? This is the one we haven't talked about.
Okay.
Is there a worse name for a condiment? Like they're like sour cream. Like I left cream out. It went sour. Let's eat it. Is what
Well-
that sounds like.
Well, I just want to be like, who was the first person to like look at a cow and be like, I'm gonna grab those and like let it ferment.
I'm guessing a baby cow.
Like
was
we're
probably
gonna
the
do
first
milk,
one.
we're gonna do cheese, we're gonna do cream out of this.
What
Like,
the hell?
who was the
I mean,
first
that's
person
a
that
fair
did that?
question to ask, though. It really is.
You could say that about anything
I'm gonna
like that
grab
though.
those and see what I can do with them.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna leave it out and let it harden, and then I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Who thought
Oh
of that?
my gosh! Hey, you
I'm
know
with
what?
you.
It's the same people that were like, "Hey, why are we gonna make cheese out of this?" And then somebody looked at the cheese and said, let's just wait a little bit." And then you get blue cheese, and blue cheese is the greatest condiment, best
Oh.
cheese ever.
So you hate ranch, but are
Hold on.
advocating for
Blue
blue
cheese
cheese?
is the best cheese.
Oh
Get
my
off my
God.
face.
Dude.
Blue cheese,
Can we
Is the
vote him
goat.
off the island?
We should.
blue cheese
My
is good.
goodness.
Tell me if you think blue cheese is good. Somebody's got to be out there and agrees
So
that blue
you,
cheese is
so
good.
you do blue cheese with wings and
Yes.
not ranch.
Yes.
Ah,
Oh,
who
yeah.
are you?
Yes. a
Blue
1,000,000%.
cheese.
Okay, can I explain?
Uh-oh,
Go ahead.
we just lost a little signal here.
Oh,
All right, we probably needed to wrap up
There
the
we
show
go.
anyway. So
I mean,
So let's wrap it up. That is the end. That was the most awkward ending. I'm sure we'll
It's
have
like-
more
it's like
awkward.
The
than this.
Sopranos just happened in here.
just cut to black.
Just cut to black.
Hey, that's our Italian theme for the. So that is our show. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you on Monday here on the PHNX Suns Show.